I mean, it allows us to play more aggressive. Like, as I mentioned before, like even if we get in foul trouble, we got guys coming off the bench who can still keep that intensity up. And I mean, if you go in there, you give 100%, and the next guy coming in will do the same thing. So just keeping an intensity and aggressiveness up.
And you specifically have seen an uptick in minutes for sure. So what does that do for your game? What does it do for your confidence when you're just out on the floor more?
I mean, obviously, I feel more comfortable on the floor if I get those minutes more. And I mean, it's just the experience. Like you grow in there, and I mean, it's not the same as practice, obviously. So it helps a lot.
So, if I recall correctly, I mean, last year you played a lot towards the beginning, but you had a lot of DNPs kind of towards the end of the year. Didn't get to see the court too much towards the end of the year. I don't know. Again, I think you've played in every game but one so far this year. Just do you expect to keep seeing the court as frequently as you are?
I mean, I just got to stay ready. You got to stay ready every day, give it all in practice, and yeah, if I get to see the floor, I just need to seize my opportunity.
So it seems like your shooting has improved a lot this year, especially that corner three. Was that one of your main focuses this offseason, and how have you been able to improve that shooting?
I mean, shooting has always been my strongest side, I'd say. But just this offseason, I was working on more, getting it more consistent, and I know like Gilly and T don't shoot it as much. So when I get it on the floor, it will space up the floor a little more, and I'll be ready to knock it down.
And you mentioned Gilly. I'm curious. That's another guy who's maybe he's not seeing more time, but he appears more efficient. Just what have you seen in terms of his growth and his development?
I mean, he's been growing a lot through these 3 years that I've been here, and I mean, obviously he's learned from T, so that's great. But yeah, I feel like just getting more confident and like feel more comfortable on the floor, and his defense in practice and in games is good, and we need that. So it's been improving a lot.
Sorry, cut you off.
Yeah,
like
now
I
you're
said,
good.
You're seeing an uptick in minutes. So what do you think that you've been able to show the coaching staff, both on the court and off the court, that's helping you, seeing these increased minutes?
Yeah, I mean, obviously defense has been the thing that I need to improve on, and I feel like I'm improving in that. So just showing it in practice and coach trusting me a little more on that side.
And so with that, is that what you would say? Like, is that the catalyst for what gets you on the floor when you're a big man or any position for this team? Really, is that
I'd say yeah. You gotta be able to guard if you want to see the floor. That's the main thing here.
So, you mentioned shooting is always one of your strengths, and you just talked about defense. But just from this year to now, where do you think that you've grown the most? I know it's still pretty early in the season.
I feel like just feeling more comfortable on the defensive side.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I get to see the floor more because of that, and I need to keep growing in that area. But I mean, if you look at Tyler, if he's on the floor, he can guard 1 through 5.
Yeah.
And that's where I need to be eventually. So just learning from him and doing what I can.
And is that reps? Is that confidence? Is it both? I mean, how do you get that? How do you feel more confident on that defensive end?
Yeah, just reps.
It's just reps.
Just reps.
And man, I want to ask you about Nolan. The freshman.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously getting pretty significant minutes out there for a true freshman. How confident are you in his abilities when he's out there on the floor?
Yeah, we all trust him 100%. And he's shown it in practice. He's shown it in games. He can space the floor. He can shoot it. And obviously he's still a freshman, so he needs to put a little more weight on. But he got a little shit to him. So when he gets down in the paint, he'll get the work done. And
last thing I have for you, man, is just we talked about the front court and kind of the depth there. Do you think that the front court is, the lifeblood of this team, how this team is going to live and die? Obviously, you have some really talented guards, but especially with the depth now, do you think that the team is going to go as the front court goes?
I wouldn't say that we lead. I mean, we all lead together, but yeah, the physicality, I think, starts in the paint. So if we start the game off, punch 1 or 2, the first 2, get a bucket, get a defensive stop in the paint, that will set the momentum for the rest of the game.
Sorry, man, I got one more thing for you, just because you mentioned the leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, guys like Corral and Wall who have been here, I mean, there's some young players on this team that are getting minutes, but what is that leadership ability from those 2 guys, the 4 and the 5? What does that bring to the team, or what do they bring to the team with their leadership?
I mean, obviously, Steven, Chucky, Tyler, they've got a lot of experience here, and it will help a lot. It will help the younger guys, John, Nolan, getting them more comfortable in their roles, and yeah, it's just them being out there and the experience they've had, they can carry it on.
Sure, appreciate you, Markus.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Yep.
Oh, let me get that.